Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Today we're presenting to you Wearable Aromas, perfume concealed in jewelry.
So, hello everyone. My name is James Harrison. I'm a senior here at Washington State University. I'm a triple major in finance, accounting, and entrepreneurship with a minor in economics. A little bit about my professional experience. I've had 4 internships to date, 3 of which are in accounting. So I have a very robust understanding of both how we should go about preparing our financial statements, but also modeling out what our cost of goods will be.
My name is MJ Kunkle. I'm the CEO and founder of Wearable Aromas. I've had a strong entrepreneurial drive since a young age, which led me to major in entrepreneurship here at Washington State University. I've had quite a few great experiences in college, a few of my favorites including a marketing campaign in London, England for Holt International School of Business, where I won first place in the competition, as well as an 8-week Target internship in a specialty sales program. Our amazing board of advisors consists of Scott Thompson, who is the Vice President of Business Development for McKinstry, Erica Hammer, who is a patent attorney at Lee & Hayes, and Jason Burt, who is a product leader for M&L and data science.
Something that we recognize that we are currently missing in our team is CRM understanding, and this is something that we will address over time when MJ goes to her full-time career at Gallo, working as a sales rep and understanding both how channel management works and interacting with clients over time. And this is something that she'll then take with her to when she goes to Wearable Aromas full-time.
Many women have a desire to smell fresh and feel confident throughout the day, but the constant struggle of having to carry a bulky perfume bottle in your purse, risking spills and breakage, and let alone you're forgetting your perfume at home, can be a major frustration for women. Not to mention the overwhelming perfume cloud that is exuded when spraying perfume in public. It can be inconsiderate and at times obnoxious to people. In a world of sleek tech, innovative science, and subscriptions, we wondered why there wasn't an easier solution to this issue. That question sparked the beginning of Wearable Aromas, a brand that transforms routine fragrance sprays into a wearable, immersive experience. We've created a line of solid perfumes concealed inside of jewelry, blending scent, style, and self-expression into one unique piece. All of our products are handmade, hand-poured, and hand-shipped. We're offering 3 necklaces on our website, which you can see here, as well as 3 different scents, which you can see at the bottom on the left here. Customers have the ability to customize their scents according to which necklace they would like. Judges, I'd ask that you now open your boxes. This is a token to show you how market ready we are with our product. The way it works upon opening is you're going to put on the necklace and or just hold it in your hand. Open it up, apply your finger for about 5 seconds. Apply it to your wrists and neck, and then your body's natural body warmth will do the rest of the work. But Wearable Aromas is more than just a clever product. It's a market-ready brand ready to capitalize on many converging trends. The rising power of social media among young women, the desire for clean beauty, and the necessity of eco-friendly and sustainable refillable products. Today, we'll walk you through why Wearable Aromas is uniquely positioned to carve out space in both the fragrances and accessories industries. With your support, we have the ability to transform the way fragrance is worn and experienced. Thank you all so much for being here, and we're excited to take you on the scent-infused journey. Our customer value proposition reads as, discover elegance with our jewelry that seamlessly blends beauty and function. Our necklaces feature a hidden compartment for solid perfume, allowing you to carry your friend discreetly and conveniently. With Wearable Aromas, enjoy timeless style and a personal touch of fragrance wherever you go.
So when we really started looking at how can we actually reach people and how many people can we reach, we referenced data from ibiz.com and saw that midway through 2024, the fragrance market was worth $4.6 billion at that time. And then narrowing that down to actually look at what our serviceable available market was, we were looking at, okay, how many people actually live on both coastal Florida and coastal California, areas that we intend to target when we first go to market. Moving from there, we looked at our serviceable obtainable market, a value of $24 million, which is, I will say, much less than what we were looking at initially, but gives us plenty of space to work within. And we came to this by looking at how many people are actually going on vacation to coastal Florida, coastal California, and what are they really looking for at that time. With this, it also gives us a 5.5% market penetration rate by the end of year 5, which allows us plenty of time for growth going forward as well.
As far as our current competition, our product has never been widely available to the public. It is something that we aren't really dealing with many competitors. We have small direct competitors, which include a variety of Etsy stores and small sellers, none of which have a strong brand presence. That's why we're hoping to come in for that. Our other competitors are also just liquid perfume, which can be sensitive to skin, can be environmentally unfriendly, and in general are just inconvenient. The market needs a mess-free, subtle, and portable solution for fragrance, and we're here to provide that. Many things make us different competitively. The first one being our niche focus. We want to be seen as a premium indulgence brand, a thoughtful and generous gift to give to others, whether that may be purchasing it for yourself, purchasing it for an anniversary, a birthday, Valentine's Day, a woman that just gave birth, and so much more. The other thing is our experience differentiation. We're using olfactory marketing, which is a strategy that influences consumers' behaviors and perceptions. Due to the fact that customers are interacting with our product for the first time in a boutique setting, they have the ability to really interact, smell, try on, and see the quality of the product for themselves. Our other thing, kind of leading into that, is our retail website funnel. After customers have these initial first-time retail purchase in store, they're directed to our website where they can browse our collections, see what's coming new, browse our scents, as well as subscribe to our refills. We also are sustainable. We pride ourselves on this due to the fact that many perfume companies, as of today, contribute to waste, whether that be the glass bottles, whether that be the plastic that the glass bottles come in, and so much more. We're proud to say that our packaging is plastic-free. We use natural and simple ingredients. Even our box we use is compostable.
So, as you know, we've heard quite a bit, but to review our go-to-market, what we're initially going for is having our beachhead be those boutiques that are on a coastal setting, mainly because when people are on vacation, they like to travel to these areas. But another characteristic of when they are on vacation, they exhibit a higher willingness to pay, which allows us to essentially go into like a razor blade model where there is that large capital hurdle in that first initial purchase, which we're able to go forward with when they are traveling. And then when they come back, they'll be driven to our website, whether it be for their refills or something else that we're offering as well is additional hardware series, which we'll release in limited quantities each quarter. And then going forward to capitalize on momentum, we hope to eventually build and license out whether it's relationships with Chanel or other premium fragrance companies, the use and right to their fragrance in that time, which eventually may or may not happen, but we also have other alternatives if that does not occur. So for our revenue model, we're really beginning with that boutique wholesaling. This is an amount that we really wanted to place intention with because it is an easy sale for us because we're able to send them 10 units a month, which is something that we found to be quite reasonable based on interactions with ones that we've already contacted. And then from there, being able to look to our website for those refills, which somebody can access at any given moment, regardless of where they are, considering that they were likely on vacation at that point. This is also encouraging because our highest gross margin comes from our refills and is able to be sustained due to the fact that we are running through a website versus having a brick and mortar store. In years 2 and 4, we'll move to having our presence at farmers markets, a place where we also see a higher willingness to pay, but are also around other places that are really working with handmade specialty items and being able to network with both additional customers and potential additional vendors as well. And then, as I said previously, we're working with limited amounts released quarterly each month, each quarter, which is something that we wanted to look forward to because we're facilitating everything in-house without having any payroll and just facilitating it on our own. So being able to look at how much we're going to produce and being intentional with that is allowing us to actually sustain it ourselves and capitalize on a exclusivity premium. And then from there, by the end of year 5, we'll have expended additional capital to both grow how our product is presented and also the quality of that product as well.
As far as our traction goes, we have a website that is fully ready to launch where customers can customize their products, see descriptions of the product, see the history behind Locket, see the inspiration behind our company, and so much more. We also have a domain name and logo. Obviously, the domain name is Wearable Aromas. The logo you saw at the beginning of this slideshow and you will see at the end as well. Our product is also 100% market ready. A token to show this is the necklaces in front of you all today. We have 200 units of inventory ready to be sold and shipped tomorrow. We're very excited to say that. We also have many boutiques, specifically 3 that are interested in selling our product back in San Clemente, California, my hometown. And we also have sales. We've only been open for about a month now, and we have $200 in sales.
So for the good stuff. So considering our financial projections, in year 1, I will say we do have a net operating loss of $19,500. And then again, in year 2, we sustain a loss of $7,950. This is something that we're not too worried about because we're employing a net operating loss carry forward to then help offset our tax liability in following years. Another thing to consider with our financial projections is that we're leveraging a Section 471, which is an election with the IRS, which allows us to expense all of our inventory as cost of goods when we purchase it, instead of holding that all on our balance sheet. This is attractive for us because it allows us to lower our admin cost, whether it be for compliance or tracking our inventory. And due to the fact that almost all of it is immaterial in nature and there's so many small components, we didn't really see any large value in tracking our inventory. Something else to consider is that we're really making sure that Wearable Aromas is able to sustain itself. And to prove that, we're actually not taking any owner's draws for years 1 through 2, simply because cash is tight in those 2 points, but it is able to sustain itself going forward. Another thing is for operations, we really wanted to leverage a lean model. As I said, we're having zero payroll expense because we're having all of our production, distribution, and CRM management being done by the ownership. This may seem ambitious, but by year 5, we modeled it out for our hardware series specifically. We're selling 1,400 units of those per month at the end of that period. Something to know is that each of these units takes about 5 minutes for us to produce, which by then MJ will have pivoted over to her full-time being at Wearable Aromas, which is an amount of time that would be sustainable for us going forward. To be more specific, that's about 35 hours a week, specifically in production, which is something that we feel is quite realistic going forward. So for our funding needs, I will say in year 1, we do need additional capital of $60,000 for that period. This is something that we're going to get both from personal contributions in amounts of $10,000 from MJ and I, but also from a $40,000 gift from MJ's father, who has worked in private equity for a long time now, which realistically is not super unrealistic for that. I will say for year 2, we do need additional capital of $35,000 simply to help maintain our net working capital balances as we progress and grow. For the sake of conservatism, we ended up opting for revenue-based financing for this, simply because we will be showing revenue and it's a little bit easier to get for us at that point. I will say it is extremely expensive compared to other alternatives, but if we are presented with other alternatives, it would allow us an opportunity to reduce our cost of capital. So in total, we'll need $95,000 for this first 2 years. Following that, we will be able to sustain ourselves with both the cash generated by the business and how we manage that cash effectively.
This company is a game changer for anyone who loves to smell fresh without the hassle of traditional perfume bottles. The innovative concept of solid perfume concealed in jewelry is elegant, seamless, and effortlessly practical. Please join us in redefining the way traditional perfume is worn and experienced. Thank you so much for your time. Feel free to scan this QR code if you'd like to attach our Instagram. We have a website link there, which will be coming very, very shortly. Thank you.
So a couple of things. One, we didn't talk about how the refills are done, and I'm sitting here looking at it, and I'd love to understand briefly just how the refills are done. My thought on this, MJ, I mean, firstly, congratulations on being the first one to say we're going to be working at a loss. Yay on you, because that's the reality. But my question is, how do you, given your background and what you were saying, how do you think big? Right? How you made this passing comment about Chanel, but how do you basically think about in the early strategy, where do we intersect with attracting the big brands, the CPG brands, the designer brands, that they basically want to do something bigger than this? And it's different than saying we're going to do it from grassroots ground up. Mm-hmm. Is there a strategy that you can, intersect faster to try and go up market sooner with the idea?
Yeah, of course. To kind of build off of both of those, I can kind of answer 2 in 1. As far as the IP goes, we do plan to get thank you. A provisional patent and or a utility patent. We plan to manufacture actually cartridges that pop in and out. And I actually have a slide for this. I had a feeling it would be asked. So this is not ours, but this is kind of a cartridge idea. It's not the exact thing, but it's just similar, where you can actually remove the actual cartridge itself. So that necklace is a one-time purchase, and then you can swap in limited time scents or your personal scent or whatever that may be.
So that answers the cartridge.
Yes. Right. And then as far as thinking big, I do think that once we get to this point where we can swap them in and we do have enough of that kind of brand presence, we're really focusing on our social media presence as well. Like I mentioned, none of our small competitors have any type of brand presence or even many reputable social media accounts. So I think by having these cartridges, marketing ourselves well, getting those sales, and then continuing to kind of follow this boutique and retail funnel.
I think bigger. I mean, I think, think about the network, think about the relationships, figure out how you can be talking to folks sooner who actually are the targets that you would ultimately get to. Just think bigger.
Can you go through the costs of each one? What are the unit economics and your profit?
I will say, thank you for your question. For our hardware sets, we're mainly broken. So we're first breaking those into refills, the units that we sell to boutiques, and then also the hardware series that are available to buy on our website. So by breaking that this way, something that we wanted to acknowledge is that we do need to give both ourselves margin and the boutiques that we're selling to margin so that they can sell it and still make a profit. So to start with that, in year one, our base price for us is selling at $35, which our cost of goods sold for that is $11.92 for the hardware set. When we're going for the actual boutiques, we're selling that to them at $30, the same cost of goods sold. And then for our actual refills, that's something that we identified selling initially at $7.5, but our cost of goods sold on that one is $1.75. Going to year 5, this is one. So at this point, we will have scaled up both the quality of our product and how we present it. At this point, we'll be selling those hardware sets to those boutiques for $60, where we're selling it for $80. At that point, our cost of goods sold is $17 for what our actual hardware series is, along with our refills, which we're then selling at $20 a piece, and then being able to maintain the same cost of goods sold as initially, simply by finding a production process for that. I will say initially that puts us at a 60.2% margin for those that we sell to the boutiques, and then being able to scale that up to almost 70 for what we're dealing with. For our cartridges initially, that's about 75%. By year 5, that goes to about 71% for those that we're selling to boutiques, and being able to run it up to about 91% for those refill cartridges, kind of leveraging that race along, being able to sell them and coming back for refills, which really is where you're just looking for your cheap.
Nice job. Good job knowing your numbers there. Yeah, and then I think just kind of echoing what Diane was saying, and I don't know, I'm a little confused about the boutique and the farmers market, and that feels like a real slow roll for what you're trying to do. Yeah, I think you have opportunity to maybe go bigger, like Diane was saying. So.
Are there other competitors that are in the like solid perfume space? Who's your closest competitor?
Closest competitor right now would probably be Etsy sellers, which are doing a similar thing that we are in Complete Honesty. But I think what differentiates us is the fact that we're going to have these cartridges. It's something that you can remove and put back in, where you can swap out. So our competitors are doing similar things, but like I said, they don't have a strong brand presence. None of them are selling in vast quantities, and I just think that we will be able to.
So none of them have the replaceable cartridge concept that you're.
None of them have the replaceable cartridges from our research.
Something else to consider as well is they may be able to refill from like the personal standpoint, where it's being able to like a screw it, dump it in there. But we really wanted to look at something that's more robust in nature. We didn't want to deal with spills, evaporation, or breakage. So simply being a little bit more robust in nature, whether somebody's trying or not. So, and then another thing that we really want to look at is that when they're dealing with that, they do have to take about a 30% cut of that, which really drives down their margin. And we really want to be competitive at the price point.
Nice. And another sort of related to the cartridge concept, are you looking at other forms of jewelry as well? Like this is a necklace. Like that in the
Yes, absolutely. Eventually we do plan to kind of experience all of those. Right now what you guys have is just an MVP, but we do plan to experience or explore kind of the earring, the bracelet, the men's watches for cologne as well. So we do have potential for that.
We didn't initially put those in our financials because it's like we really wanted to look at what are the 3 main bread and butter items initially. We do acknowledge that there are other alternatives that will pop up. And this is why we actually have allocated a certain amount of our revenue to product development, which whatever that may be, we want to be able to have capital available for that. So they stay competitive.
Anything else?
One last follow up. I just say like I think that's great for the presentation. I would, as you're thinking about the patent and the IP that associated with it, think about those other things and where it's going to expand. Protect for those as well.
I really enjoyed the presentation. When I think about this, I think about two extremely competitive spaces. And when I look at it from a business standpoint, I feel like your business is really in the IP, right? Like unless you really lean into jewelry, unless you really lean into perfume, these are mega businesses with individuals who are designing beautiful crafts, especially at the level that you're trying to elevate your brand to. So I would love to get a better understanding. All your IP to them so that they create what they're known.
It did work 100 once. Initially, we have that one which will sustain us to that point. But then by year 5, we have a very cash balance available, which at that point we'll be able to deploy discretionary circumstances, whether it's we want to generate additional IP that we can then deploy going forward, or if we really want to aggressively expand our market. I'm just trying to figure out. We don't know what's going to happen. It's trying to be intentional with that by giving ourselves enough capital to do what is the right intent.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit. Great job.